where I have negative 2 times n to the 0th power. The n to the 0th power part is going to become what? 1. Right. This part is going to become 1. So that's like negative 2, because this is still negative 2. That's fine. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. This is definitely the easier rule. B to the second times b to the negative second. Remember, in a multiplication problem, you have to what the exponents? To add the exponents. Good. So if I have to add 2 and negative 2, that's going to give me 0. So that makes b to the 0th power. Anything to the 0th power makes 1. All right. So let's do some mixed practice now. This will get us some more work with this negative exponents. As I said, that's probably going to be the harder of the two things for you today. You should not be having a big problem with 0 exponents. Changing something into 1 shouldn't quite be the most difficult thing we've done this year. All right. So I've got 4 m to the 0 n to the negative 5th. 4 m to the 0 n to the negative 5th. Okay, let's start with the easy part here. M to the 0th power is going to be equal to what? 1. So this part here together is like 4 times 1, which is 4. And then I've still got the n to the negative 5th. Okay? Now I'm not done. I still got to do the negative exponent. So, again, when you've got a negative exponent, start off, write it like a fraction. Okay. There's 2 things I have to do with n to the negative 5th. Tell me what one of those things is. There's 2 things I have to do. Jackson, give me one. I have to move it to the bottom, and what's going to happen to it when I move it to the bottom? Kaylee.
Become positive.
It's going to become positive, exactly. So I'm going to take this n to the negative 5th, flip it to the bottom, it becomes positive. 4 over 1 times n to the 5th. That's it. Let's try it again. Example 8. 8x to the negative 3rd over x. 8x to the negative 3rd over x. Now, 2 ways you can go into this problem. And both of them will get you the same answer. Just depends how you look at it. Some of you are going to look at this and say, well, I got to flip x to the negative 3rd. You can start that way. Some of you are going to say, well, if I cover up the 8, it's a division problem, so I have to subtract the exponents. You could look at it that way too. Either way, you're going to come up with the same answer. Okay? Let's go ahead and look at it like I've got to flip x to the negative 3rd right away, though, because it's already written like a fraction. So, x to the negative 3rd. I want to flip it around, so what am I going to have to do here? Shelby.
It'll be x to the 3rd, because you take away the...
And where's it going to go?
On the bottom.
It's going to go to the bottom. So I've got 8 over x, this x, I didn't touch that x yet, it's still there, times the x to the 3rd, which is what I brought down to the bottom. Okay, you all see what I did there? Okay. I just took the x to the 3rd part and brought it to the bottom. The 8 is still on the top. This x is still on the bottom. The only thing that moved was that. That's the only thing I did. Now, take a look at the bottom there. It's a multiplication problem. What do I do to the exponents in a multiplication problem? I have to add them. Good. X would be like x to the 1st. Good. Plain old x would become like x to the 1st. So now we can add these together. X to the 1st and x to the 3rd is going to make x to the 4th. 8 over x to the 4th. There you go. All right. 6x to the negative 4th over 3x squared y to the 0. 6x to the negative 4th over 3x squared y to the 0. Okay. Tell me what you want to do first. You want to take care of the negatives, or you want to do the 0 thing?
Let's take care of the
Okay,
negative.
the 0 thing, I saw you Elaine do the 0 thing, so let's do the 0 thing. All right, y to the 0. That's going to change into 1. Okay? So I've got 6x to the negative 4th over 3x squared times 1. And I'll get rid of the times 1 in the next step. Okay? All right. So now I've got to do the x thing. X to the negative 4th, x to the 2nd. Let's do what we did in the last problem and flip it and combine. So, since this is here is negative, it's going to go down to the bottom. Now 6 is fine. 6 isn't adversely affected because it doesn't have anything to do with that negative thing. So leave 6 alone. Okay? 3x squared x to the 4th. You can see what I did here. I did the 3 times the 1. Still makes 3. So you didn't see it, but it had to do with it. All right. X squared and x to the 4th. It's a multiplication problem because they're together now. So that's going to make x to the 6. Good. So I've got 6 over 3, x to the 6th. Now there is actually one other thing I can do in this problem. Ignore the powers. It's not a power thing. What else do you see I can do in this problem? It's not a power thing. Jackson? What? Exactly. I can divide by 3. Look, that was 6/3. Forget the x. You could reduce that fraction. 6 over 3 becomes 2 over 1. So you want to do that too. So it would be 2 over 1 times x to the 6th. Okay, 6/3 reduces just like it was a plain old fraction. Fantastic.